Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Pull the lever, Kronk. How's everyone doing today? Camera on. Ooh, it's Saturday night. I feel very, very, very sleepy. I have no idea what's going on with this sleep schedule coming back to my time zone, but I fell asleep at the computer today editing. I fell asleep while editing. That should tell you everything you need to know. I normally don't fall asleep at the computer. I hate sleeping sitting. I can sleep sitting, but I hate doing it. And I fell asleep at the computer. That should tell you everything you need to know. And I got a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow with the family. So gonna be a short stream today. Short stream today. But what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Today we're just gonna do a little bit of faffing about. We got the Sovol Zero. We got the Sovol Zero out. We're gonna do a little bit of a teardown on it, see what's under the hood, see why it weighs 14 kilograms. This thing weighs like 30 pounds. It's a V0. It's not a V0. It's a Sovol Zero. Sovol Zero. But it weighs like, it's heavy. It is heavy. So we're gonna figure out why it's so heavy today. Tempered glass probably doesn't help. Overpriced. I wouldn't call it overpriced. It's about the same price as it's like what, $3.99? I think they announced as the early bird price and $4.99. I mean, for a 150 V0, a V0 kit's what, that's about the same price as a V0. So, about the same price. And then we got some other stuff. Soldering iron. I got the Panda Edge. Some other stuff. I went through my luggage for some of the goodies that I brought back from China, including, it's not orange, but it's the Prusa bed for Cryo Grip Prusa bed. We're gonna put that on the Prusa and see how it goes. In fact, we'll do that right now. How good does it work with Pet G? I don't know. We'll find out because I'll just print a plate of Pet G on it right now. So we'll take this plate out. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing on camera. Let's see, you go there. Okay, are you flat? You are not flat. Why don't you want to be flat? There we go. Now you're flat. Reprint, sure, why not? How will it work? I don't know. Am I in frame? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out in a minute here. We will find out in a minute. I was not in frame. Okay. Yeah. The FormBot kit, including shipping. Okay, now factor in 24 hours of labor to build it, plus however much it costs you to print the parts. Sounds about right. Need to wash it? It's brand new out of the package. I shouldn't need to wash it. It's fresh out of the package. We'll find out. Fresh out of the package, directly from the manufacturer. Directly from the manufacturer. Okay, so what are we doing today? What are we doing today? We're taking this apart. This is the Sovol Zero, which is Sovol's not V0. First thing I gotta do is unload some filament out of it, so we gotta power it up. Also, the side panels are metal. So that probably adds to the weight. I wonder if they saw the Core 1 announcement and they're like, we need to have metal panels on our printer. We need steel panels so people can put magnets on it. Maybe that's why it weighs so much. They're like, Prusa did metal, we're gonna do metal. So let's see, how easy is the door to come off? So let's start taking stuff off of this. So we'll take the top off. So put you in here. How can we take this door off easily? Let's get this door off. Are you the right size? You are not the right size. Where is my bits? Where are my bits? I don't think I have bits long enough for this. I have to do this. manual way, unfortunately, I think. Yeah. Does it use nozzle probing? This? It has an eddy current probe. Wow, these are some really big screws. Really big screws. Really big. Really big screws. Really big. I'm going to hold on to the panel so we don't lose it. Oh. Try not to lose all my screws. There we go. Okay. So those are the front panel and the top panel off, and I lost my drill. Don't want to lose that. There we go. Okay. Prepare. Is there an unload macro on it? Control. LEDs. I guess just heat the extruder up. Pre-ordered the Zero yesterday. Personally, I love the Sovol donates %. Yeah, it's pretty cool they do that. So Voron doesn't acknowledge when companies do that. It has to do with the fact that Voron's an open source group. And for those that don't remember, when Sovol first came out, when with their SV08, they fixed it. They fixed it. They fixed it. When they first, I'm going to chalk it up to some cultural differences or something, but their original like spat of branding or marketing around the SV08 very heavily leaned on the fact that it was derived from a Voron. And it's kind of like you're using an open source non-profit as marketing for your for-profit machine. They definitely stepped back on it a bit. It's not as bad. So I didn't, you notice how I didn't really bring that up when I was talking about this machine compared to the SV08. It's not trying, you could tell they're not trying to tie it to being a Voron as much. Although personally, I wish they had come up with their own name instead of calling it a Zero. It would have been nice if they had named it, it's your own machine. Give it its own name. But alas, poor Yorick, it is what it is. Marketing is marketing. I don't have a longer, smaller. Kind of annoying. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. So, yeah. Which way does this go? There we go. Old filament out. Turn it off. I'm gonna need somewhere to put all these screws so I do not lose them. Where can I heal you? You're a bunch of random stuff I can throw in a box. Let me find a box to throw you in. Perfect. There we go. There we go. The SV08 Mini. SV08 Mini, SV Mini. Like, it's just the fact that, like, guys, they created their own machine. Yes, this is obviously extremely inspired by a Voron V0, but it's their own tool head. It's got, it has a current air fan in the back. Like, they made their own thing here. Yes, it's heavily inspired by a Voron V0, but at the end of the day, a V0 is, wow, it's a small enclosed Core XY. There's only so many ways you can make a small enclosed Core XY. The bed's completely different. It's 2Z. The tool head's completely different. It's a small enclosed Core XY. It's just, come on, guys. You made your own thing. Take pride in the fact you made your own thing and call it your own thing. But my initial impressions on it are pretty good. Print quality is fine. I do notice I have a little bit of Z wobble in mine. So that's one of the things we're going to take a look at. So let's get all these panels off. This is gonna take a bit, I got a feeling. I'm hoping all the screws are the same. They are not all the same. Okay. So unfortunately, I can't cheat that much. But has anyone else done reviews on them? Because I haven't really looked into. I try to avoid watching reviews for other things. But initial impressions seem like it's not bad. Initial impressions are, it's not bad. It's a solid little machine. If you're looking for like a little desktop machine to sit on your desk and print ABS and whatnot, and you don't want to deal with building a machine, there's definitely a market for it. Now, the thing is, you know, an A1 Mini is going to be cheaper. A Centauri Carbon, I think, is even cheaper. So economies of scale is something you're going to have to do the math yourself to see if it's worth it. But Loyal Moses did. I wouldn't call that a review. It's hard to, how do you compare it to a Voron if you can't build a Voron? So we do have some foam, it looks like, but it doesn't really go fully enclose it. So there is foam, but it's not like full airtight. I think it's more just to prevent rattle. And then there are some random holes that are plugged. So I guess, where are those at? Yeah, those are just there. There's some random holes here that you could take the plugs out, I guess, if you really wanted to. So I guess you might be, oh, you know what? You could probably put the spool here. You could probably pop these out, put the spool in with some nuts if you wanted to do that. So there you go. So that's that panel. Let's get the other one off. We're not going to do a complete teardown on it. I'm not going to go on the level of a Vector 3D teardown because I don't want to have to put it all back together. But I'm going to tear it down to the point that we could see everything, essentially. There are basic cut and paste. Nobody's done anything on it. Yeah, that's why you can't really do, like, even like the H2D videos. Like, so when I was over in China, I spoke to several different people from several different companies, and I will not disclose sources. And from my understanding, there are only a couple people that got review units and test units of the HD2 well enough in advance to put a lot of hours on it. Because like every review I saw for the HD2, like everyone just did, like, you could tell they just did like one lasering thing and that was it. They're like, oh, hey, the laser works. Like, I didn't see anyone actually put hours on the laser, which is kind of disappointing because that's the only new thing on it, other than a $130 calibration feature that I could do it on my Voron with a cauliflower print for free if I wanted to. So, yeah. Put enough time. To do a proper printer review, you need to put like, you need like a solid month of sitting there printing. Like, you need to actually use the machine. If you watch the review and the majority of the review is just them reading off the specs, well, like, you only see 3 prints, just assume they didn't actually review the printer and they're just like doing an initial impression thing. That's, you know, my thoughts on it. What is a cauliflower print? It's a print that allows you to, okay, is there a, do I gotta unscrew this? Where do you screw it? You go there, okay. Is there, okay, so I'm gonna have to disconnect you. Cauliflower print is a print that allows you to, you do a test print and then you measure. And it allows it lets you know if you're printing skewed in the XY, and also make sure everything is printing correctly to scale, essentially. Uncle Jesse didn't get a review unit. Uncle Jesse partnered with Elegoo, right? Uncle Jesse's partnered with Elegoo, right? So that's might be why. Yeah, I know a lot of cosplay people that were hankering for a larger printer. Oh wow, that's actually okay. So this actually does have a carbon filter in it. This does have a carbon filter in it. You can replace it from the inside. This is printed, and for those wondering, that this little panel here is if you are printing ABS, you just put this over that, and it blocks this completely to prevent air from going through to vent, essentially. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it on there. So I haven't actually done ABS prints on here. Kind of annoying that this mounts to the side instead of mounting to the back, which means you have to take it off every time. But other than that, seems okay. It's kind of weird that the antenna comes in, but what is this? There is a random silver pin sticking out here. And I don't know what that's for. Let's take the back off and take a look. Wires are held on with tape, which is kind of weird. Oh, maybe this is why the light on mine didn't work. The light on mine didn't work. I'm like, I thought there was a light in here. Maybe if I plugged in the light would work. So let me plug the light in so that there is a light. I'm like, I could have sworn they said there was a light in it. There we go. Now the light's plugged in. Temp probe. Oh, yep, that's a thermistor. That's a thermistor. Yep. Good eye. So there's one Z rod, by the way. There's only one Z motor. Okay, let's take the back off here. Or they have a weight in the bottom. Well, we'll take a look. I haven't, like, we're doing a teardown, but we're doing a superficial teardown because I don't want to actually fully disassemble the machine because that's gonna be annoying to put it back together. So, and Joel have a problem with the H2D extruder already? I don't know. Do you know if BQ will help make a cryo grip plate for the Puce XL? They might. Reach out to them and ask. I know it's something they're working on, trying to get more sizes. At TCT Asia, they had sizes for 350. So they had sizes for the nominal Voron sizes. They already got their hands on an H2D. So you know they're already going to work on accessories for the H2D. So probably expect cryo grip plates and whatnot. Although, if there is anyone in my audience that has an H2D, or ordered one, or is getting one soon, DM me. I need to investigate a potential shenanigans of footery. I'm not going to talk about it if it's a nothing burger, but somebody tipped me off to something shenanigan-wise they might have tried to implement on the machine, and I need some confirmation. But I need somebody who has the machine with them, like physically has the machine to test it. And don't worry, it just involves a piece of tape. So. Hello, Amelia and Daniela. Be good for your parents. When they tell you it's bedtime, go to bed. You're up late. You should be up late. You're up late. Go to bed. Or actually, I don't know what time zone you're in, so. I'm gonna take this. Camera RFID. The camera looks at something. That's all I'm gonna say. Am I gonna mod this printer? Probably not. If anything, I'm probably gonna keep it somewhat stock and just kind of use it as a small ABS machine or something. My dad were 15 and 17. Well, I'll get a job. In this economy, what machine is it again? This, it's a Sovol Zero, a Sovol. I'm assuming most of the weight of this printer are these panels and the glass. I think we've already managed to drop 4 or 5 pounds off the printer. Oh, Vinny, I got a feeling the H2D won't work if you cover the QR code on the nozzle. You said it, not me. Have I tried the cryo grip plates? I got one on the machine right now on the Prusa. We're gonna try some ABS on it. Why? Because I already had ABS loaded in it. Oh, I just bent the crap out of that one. Okay, let's unbend that. There we go. Yeah, these are metal. Okay, so let's see, what do we got in the back here? What do we got in the back here? This looks pretty good. So don't forget, while I drink this delicious gamer subs, use code Canuck, link in the description, save 10% off your order. If you want to win a spool of filament from POLYMAKER, link in the description, enter for your chance. We'll do the draw at the end of stream. We're probably going to do a slightly shorter stream today, just because I have a bunch of stuff going on with the family tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. Okay. Yeah, somebody put 48 volts in this machine already or something? I was seeing online. I probably won't, because I really don't care that much about the extra speed. So we have a controller board here. It runs an STM32H7. It also has an H616 processor, so it's an all-in-one board. We do have, it looks like eMMC memory right there, so we do have an eMMC memory module. 80 volt cap. Drivers are under heat sinks. I'm not going to pop them off, but there is a separate input for motors. So I think if you wanted to, you could feed the XY motors 24. Yeah, there is 48 volt input. So looking at it here, there's 2 jumpers. You could feed 48 volts to your XY motors, and they are heat sinked. I'll do a print with the panels off. I'll do a PLA print with the panels off, just so I can see how hot these get. Because honestly, you don't need a heat sink. I don't know why people put heat sinks on stepper motors. Like, good quality heat sinks do not, or stepper motors do not need heat sinks. You can run stepper motors pretty hot before they start to fail. You really got to cook them. For them to fail if they're good quality ones. And so adding a heat sink's kind of like, why? But they are there, and you can do 48 volts. Does the eMMC say MKS? It is eMMC v1.1, and I don't see anything else on the board. other than just eMMC 1.1. Here. I'm probably gonna, hopefully I don't break the screen doing this. Zoom in. There you go. So yeah. Nozzle cleaning failed. What do you mean nozzle cleaning failed? Retry. So yeah, so this is a separate in right there for the motors. You can switch these two jumpers over to feed them 48 volts, it looks like. There's your eMMC. The board itself doesn't have any branding on it. I don't see any branding on it. 80 volt cap. So yeah, it'll do 48 volts. We have an unpopulated fan header. Another fan header, it looks like, or actually, that's an RGB. Yeah, so we have another 4-pin fan header, an RGB header. Do you see what I see? Class, do you see what I see? Focus, focus, focus. Do you see what I see? Now, it could be other things, because it's a 2-pin and a 3-pin. So I'm not exactly sure what it can mean. But okay. And then what else do we got? I think everything else is populated. ADXL. And then I think these are end stops that aren't in use. And then we have some other stuff here. 5 volt TX RX. So there's actually, there's your I2C right here, TX and RX and whatnot. Hopefully I didn't break something. What was that noise? Oh, I just popped this off. There we go. Like, I heard a pop. I'm like, uh-oh. Hopefully we didn't break it. Let's back out. There we go. Okay. Okay. AMS 20 volt and AMS can. Yeah, so it might just be trying to deliver power to something, but I don't know. But hey, there are unpopulated pins on the board. So I'm sure if people get into some shenanigans and they want to do some more adding modification of this, considering we've already established you can go 48 volts on this. So if you have an extra 48 volt power supply, you can have some fun with it. Yeah, that ain't too bad. Okay, I'm gonna flip it on its back here, and then we'll take a look under the bottom. So what's under the bottom panel here? More metal. In the AMS trademarked? I don't know. Hoping the tool head can be swapped. It looks very similar. I will take it I'll take it off after this and take a look, but it does look very similar. Let me undo this bottom one here. You can see where the handlebars are. Standard Mark 8 style. Yeah, it seems pretty standard. Like it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them if they were to make a whole new tool head. When it's like the SV08 tool head, like their tool head is pretty common on all their machines. Like they use pretty much the same tool head on all their machines, right? So it's like, why would you go reinvent the wheel? Why pull a Bamboo and add another standard to your ecosystem? Because Bamboo now has what, 4 different hot ends? Actually 5, because they have the new hot end. Because you have the X1, you have the X series hot end and the P series hot end, which are physically the same, but they have different connectors. So you gotta buy a different one. And then you have the A series hot end. And now you have the H2 series hot end, but then there's also a high flow variant. So it's like, pick a standard. There we go. another metal plate. And down here we have, yeah, so we have a single Z motor, and we got belt drive, and then we got the power supply. It's a 150 150, yeah, it's 150 watt 24 volt. And then under the bed, oh shoot, is that what I think it is? That is what I think it is. The bed has a load cell in it. I think it does do nozzle probing, but it's not for the whole bed. So I think it just does the nozzle probing over the load cell, just for the nozzle offset, instead of like a separate Z offset. And then it does the whole shebang. Not bad. The problem is I haven't been using the proper config for this yet, because I don't have it. I'm hoping, I'm waiting on them to release the actual proper config slicer profile for it, because right now the slicer profile I'm using for it is the SV06 Ace with the modified oh yeah, there's, yeah, can you see that here? I think it'll show up better. Yeah, we got a bit of a wobbly boy. We got a bit of a wobbly boy. So this is kind of the downside with this kind of setup, is yeah, you can see these are, this is wobbly. I don't know if I can fix it. Look, you could see these. They're wobbly. We are. And they didn't use set screws. They just used M3 screws. Like just regular M3 screws. So how can we possibly fix that? How can we possibly fix that? Because the problem is, it's just a bearing. It's just a bearing. Now, this is a plate, and there's another plate on the top. So I think there's two bearings. Let me see if I can take a look. I can pop this cap off. Yeah, I can pop the cap off. So, yeah, just two bearings. They're two flange bearings too. So what's happening is, you know, let me grab some flange bearings here just to show you. 695s, yeah. So essentially, they have two flange bearings, and then you have the rod goes through it, and then it's grabbed at the bottom. So if there's any play, it can weeble wobble. My first Voron I built had a similar Z setup to this, where it had 3 lead screws, or no, 2 lead screws, 1 motor, and they just was a belt loop that connected everything, and it had wobble issues too. This is why it's kind of like, you kind of want to go integrated. I don't really know if you can, what can we do to try and fix this? Let's move the bed up all the way. Make sure these are pressed in all the way. Is that pressed in all the way? Let's get something here and push on it. Yeah, it's pressed in all the way. Yeah, that's pressed in all the way. Yeah, that just sits there. I'm trying to think of what we can do to try and get rid of that wobble. They wobble. They wobble. There's some wobble. Also, on the back here, I do like they did this. The high voltage section is blocked out with the SSR in here, so you can't get your mitts on that, even if you take the back panel off. I do like they did that. What we could do, I could just float the nuts. Okay, what I'm going to do two things here. We're going to try two things here. Tilt you back. Okay. We're going to try two things here. First, we are going to Z negative China it. You'll see why in a second. So go all the way to the bottom, crash in the bottom. Oh, let me get my DOS box out of there. Okay. So we're going right to the bottom. Let me loosen the nut. Okay. Oh, those are a little bigger. What we're going to try and do is ensure that we're trammed. Oh, maybe this one too. Oh, there are set screws in here too. There are set screws in here. Nope. There. Okay. Basically trying to get it to slip. I want it to slip. Because I want to have it slip. Because I want to make sure that it is indeed, yeah, these are, are they pressed on? They might be pressed on too. Yeah, I might not be able to do that. I just want to make sure that they are trammed. It's not like one is slightly out. Way to add bearings to the top. No, because then it over constrains it. What you would want to do, you could try floating it. That's what I'm going to try doing. I'm going to try floating the screw, the sets or the lead screw nuts, essentially. These really don't want to float. Yeah, they're pressed on. They ain't going anywhere. I'll just retighten them back up. There's no way I'm gonna. So that idea won't work. It does look like, I do think they are all the way at the bottom anyway, so I'm not too concerned with that. The regression in 3D, what do you mean regression? What do you mean regression? Doesn't help this wobbles too. It could be that these aren't the right size, but it is what it is. Okay, so what we're gonna do to try and alleviate this deficiency is you're gonna go right there. You are gonna float. So what you do is essentially, so think about it this way. You have your nut that right, get your head out of the gutters, class. You have your lead screw and you got your nut. And as this spins, it goes up and down. Keep your heads out of the gutter, class. I'm making an example. So what happens is as this does this, the nut is attached to the bed and the bed does this. What you can do keep your head out of the gutters, class. You can loosen the screws on your lead screw nut, okay? On the T-nut. That way, instead of it allows it to basically float. Gravity will provide you the preload. Gravity will provide you the preload, but it'll float kind of on the X a little bit, XY. So we're gonna try that. So we're just going to crack the nut here, essentially. They are already cracked. They're already loose. At least this one is. Oh, that one wasn't. Okay. And there we go. So now, theoretically, it should not be as constrained. There should be a bit of a float there. They are greased up, so that's good. See how it goes. Yeah, don't tighten the nut. Yeah. Well, you can't go any taller because you hit the tool head. Yeah, so we'll loosen those, but these are pretty, there's a bit of float. There's a bit of float. Yeah, there. I really don't think we're going to get a lot of float out of this. Like, there is a bit of float on them. There is a bit of float now. Okay, well, we'll do a print and see how it goes. I need to print something. What should we print, class? Somebody tell me something to print. Find me a tall print. Something tall, quick, and simple. And I shall print it. What shall I print? I need something to print. Something in vase mode. We can do a vase mode print. We can do a vase mode print if you want. I just want to screw in. Oh, that's why. Oh. Dang it. I have it the wrong way around. Dang it. There we go. There we go. Skull vase. Link it in the Discord and I'll fire it up. Link it in the Discord and I will fire it up. Okay, let's get this movable feast underway. I'm just going to use Ethernet because it's right here. Move you out of the way so I don't pinch you. And power it up. Oh, for those wondering about what the tool head looks like. What am I? Oh. Did I screw this on the wrong way again? I did. Yeah, join the Discord, link in the description, video description. It would help if this doesn't rub on that. How does this go again? This goes... There, I think it goes there. No, that's not that. How did I have this again? Can't go that way. I think it went like that. Yeah, it went like that. That's how it went. There we go. There we go. I will say the heatsink fan is nice and quiet. Heatsink fan is nice and quiet. So we do have that. Everything's labeled too. Like they have AB marks on all the extrusions. As for the tool head, for those wondering what it looks like underneath, let's pop it off. Take a look. So it's just held on with clips, little plastic clippies. So there's your part fan, tool head board in the front. That is a high flow hot end, or at least a very long one. There's your eddy current sensor. So there's your tool head board. Pretty simple. Yeah. Nothing really complicated there. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We'll do the skull. Okay. We'll do the vase mode skull. Let's load some shiny filament. You guys want to do shiny filament? Let's do shiny filament. The base mode print. Base mode prints look better in shiny filament, right? Does anyone dare oppose my suggestion to use shiny filament? Does anyone dare oppose my shiny filament idea? I can't believe how long the screws I used to hold this on. Okay. So this is some Buddy 3D shiny stuff. There we go. Okay. Shoot, I just closed that. Did I save it? I did. Okay, so let's see. Does the light turn on finally? Center, where is filament sensor? Main LED. Oh, it is on. Okay, so the main LED is working now. It's hard to say how bright that would have been with the panels on, but we do have a working LED, so the LED does work. Okay, Orca slicer. So let's see here. Sovol Zero. Let's see if they have a proper profile for it yet. So here's the printer. Help center. More. Zero, zero, zero. No zero yet. Okay. Orca slicer. Clip the clippy things back on. I did clip the clippy thing back on the tool. It is clipped back on the tool head. What do you mean clip the clippy thing back on the tool head? Profiles on the SD card. Is it? There was a profile on it, but I don't think it was. Here, let me double check. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Tornado warnings. That's not good. Was that it? See here. Yeah, it said 0 configs loaded, so that's 0. Also, where are you guys? There you are. Where are you getting tornado warnings at? The main config. I think I just did. Let me see what's in the options. Come in. I don't see the 0. I mean, I have the SD card. That's what I'm looking at. So import config, machine. Like these are the two right here, right? Yeah, these are the configs, right? Like there are 0 ported. Yeah. I tried the Sovol.json. Import config. Like this one, I tried this one. 0. I mean, I have a working profile here. It doesn't have all the features though, but I do have a working profile. Yeah, like this profile does work. It's just not optimized. That fits. Okay, others. Where is face? Where is face mode? Face. Where's face mode? Borrow face. Yes. Hey, don't knock it. Doesn't have a channel for the 0 yet. Okay. I mean, it's a pretty new machine. Like it is what it is. It's new. Support. No other. I don't want a brim. There we go. Okay, before we get that though, I do have to load filament. I gotta put some, I got to feed it 220 and get that up to 60. Nom, nom. And then I also have some other fun stuff to try here. Where is it? Actually, will this work? This is 12 volt, right? This is a 12 volt power supply. Input, output, 15 amp. Oh, it's only 45 watts. That's a little on the small side. That won't work. I've got some LEDs here that I picked up in China I want to play with. Chinese LEDs. Cheap Chinese LEDs. So I'm going to need some room. Yeah, I will say construction-wise, other than the lead screw wobble, I'm pretty happy with this, I'll say. Like, other than the lead screw wobbles, I think this is a pretty solid machine. There you go. Eat the filament. Eat the filament. Yeah. Num 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 num. Num 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 num. Oh yeah, this is definitely a silk filament. You could see it like being all fat. Okay. Yeah, you can tell it's you can see it's all overly extruded. Okay, so I guess print and upload and print. So let's take about an hour. There we go. How are these coming along? That's coming along good. So yeah, so you can see it's only doing the eddy current probe because it's set up to be an SV06 Ace with a modified profile, but it doesn't have the nozzle clean. Actually, no, it does do nozzle probing. So that must mean the start stop G code is a macro that it's calling up, or at least the bed calibration part is. 3 years, pathetic Puma. That is, you want to know what that is? That's not pathetic. That is not pathetic. Okay, I need some light. I need some rigid burr. I need more rigid burr. You're all plugged in. Shoot, you're being used. All my plugs are being used. I need a long cable. How long are you? Are you long enough? You will suffice. You will suffice. Hopefully we don't blow any fuses. That would be bad. There you go. Are all the clips on? Just to make sure. Yeah, it is clipped on. So we're good there. What are you doing? Eddy calibration. Oh. Okay. Ezelo just became a sponsor. Oh, it's just a notification. Like, you're already a Matt channel member. So yeah, so these were some RGB LEDs I bought in Shenzhen. They were, they're RGB LEDs. They were 30 bucks for a whole flight of them. So let's, and it comes with the, remote. I do have to wire them up though, but they're just 12 volt. So I've got plenty of 12 volt power supplies. Let's see, let's kill this light. And let's kill that light. Where is my... It's my... around here somewhere. Addressable? Yes. They are controllable with a remote. If that is addressable, then they are addressable. On. Okay, what's going on? They worked earlier. Am I missing something? They were working earlier. Oh. It helps if I plug them in. Oh, that blows it right out. Here. They are bright. Okay, here, let me drop the brightness down on them. There we go. Okay. So I dropped the brightness down on them. So I can do different modes. It's on demo right now. I don't think I can drop the brightness down that much. So that they're going to be blown out. It's going to be blown out. But it's a strip of LEDs. So they are, like, it's a full RGB strip. Then modes, different colors. I can do like a raindrop effect. Yeah, first layer is crap. I see that. Look at it. Look at all that. Okay, let's fix this. Let's fix the printer first. All right, turn my lights back on. Okay, why are you not extruding? What's going on here? Let's see here. So pause. What's going on? It's just not extruding. It's just not extruding. Temperature is 235. That is extrude. What's going on here? Okay, maybe going 235. Why was it 235? Oh, did I slice it with the wrong? Oh yeah, I just mushed it. Okay, 1 second here. 1 second here. Okay, 1 second here. Feed you back in. 235 is way too hot. Base PLA, why is it doing 235? That is hot. It's extruding it. Yeah, no, it is extruding it. Yeah, silk filaments are a nightmare. Yeah, no, it is extruding it. 1 second here. Let me see here. So I'm going to grip it. No, it is doing it. Maybe it's just the temperature. Maybe it was too hot. Crazy hot first layers with some. Yeah, I know why they do it. So here's the problem. Okay, we're Ian Malcolming it right now in 3D printing. The problem with 3D printing is we're getting to the point where companies are thinking that 3D printing is a turnkey solution because you're trying to go after the Etsy market the arts and crafts hobbyist market. You can tell which company's really trying for that right now. And the problem is 3D printing is a very imperfect science. You kind of have to know, you're going to have to faff about with some shit when it comes to 3D printing. So companies lately, I've noticed, other companies have done it too, where default profiles smush the first layer into the bed more, hotter temperatures on the first layer, basically trying to do everything they can to boost the chances of success, because, you know, people aren't calibrating as much as they used to. People aren't, you know, it's the markets and have changed, and they're trying to make something that's not a perfect solution into a turnkey solution. So like, look, it's 235 on the first layer. Just cook that first layer into the bed. Just cook that first layer into the first bed, eh? What flow rate are we looking at here anyways? It's not even that fast. Print. Upload and print. What do you mean print host? Oh, because the print isn't canceled. Cancel. There we go. Try again. Did you level your bed? But yeah, so I've got these cool RGBs. So I've got two of these strips. I got one for this room and I got one for the basement. And you could do like, I could turn them red. I could turn them green. I could turn them blue. I'd probably do blue, and they get bright. They get really bright. And then I could also do fancy modes where they change color. That's pretty cool. And then for some reason it likes to get stuck and do the same. There's like a purple. Look at me, I'm a real live streamer now. I do purple. I have purple RGB in the background. I'm a real live streamer now. White, red. So I gotta figure out where to put them. I could just do a strip along like the back wall and you would just like see it come down. I could just wrap the Tico up with them too. That could be another thing. But yeah, so I have a whole strip of them. I have this 60 watt, 12 volt power supply. Sure. I've got other power supplies too, if I need more. But they are, they're already potted. They do have the sticky back. They're 12 volt. So I just got to figure out what to do with them. Do one purple, one orange. I'm a real live streamer. There we go. Cryo grip's going pretty good. So that's that. So that's one of the things I came back from China with. The most unnecessary filament scraper in the world, the BQ Panda Touch, the Shiv. the BTT shiv for when you really want to get stuff off that bed. And it's magnetic. It's really magnetic. So we're gonna put that on the Prusa. There we go. So we got the Panda Edge. So that was cool. Another, I mean, I went to Big Tree Tech. And then this was pretty cool. Somebody gave me this. This was a member of the Chinese Voron community gave us all these. It's a soldering iron kit. So it's a T65, I think. So it's a T65 soldering iron. It's USB-C, so I got to use a PD charger, which I don't have one out here. I don't know how you swap these. Do they? Oh, they just. There you go. So there's your tips. They just kind of, they're hot swappable. That's kind of cool, I guess. Think they would lock some. Oh wait, no, wait. They come out. Yeah, this comes out. That makes sense. I'm like, they should lock down. There we go. That makes a bit more sense. But the guy designed all this. So this is the got a little cloth. I think this is flux. So the guy designed this 3D printed case, which was pretty cool. Yeah, this is got some flux in here, resin, and then solder. So it's a little 3D printed solder kit. No, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's a whole soldering kit. Magnetic. I can hear it like, can you hear that? I don't know what that noise is. Anyways, and then this was pretty cool. This is a little. This I found in Big Tree Tech warehouse. It's a little power supply. So it's a barrel jack in. I don't know what the input is, but it does PD in. I'm assuming it takes anywhere from 5 to 32 volts. I mean, I've see what happens. There we go. Output. How does this work? How does this work? Oh. Okay, so it can only output up to that. But I can do like, oh, I want to output 5 volt. At 0.5 amps. It'll do up to 5 amps. So it'll go up to 30 volt, 5 amp, 100 watt max. That's pretty cool. And then it's got some alligator clips for that. That's pretty cool. So it's just a little power supply. So this will be useful, you know, powering a Raspberry Pi or something, just a little desktop testing. Yeah, the output is probably limited. It probably doesn't have a boost in it. So it's probably just... Wait. I'll let you in on it. I'll let you in on it. Ready? Everyone? There we go. There you go. Nice little benchtop power supply. This will be handy for something. At some point, that'll be handy. Yeah, put that in. How's this coming along? It's coming along. Oh, you know what that is? That is a bed mesh, I think. Yeah. I'm hearing a little bit of a creak over here. That's the Z ever so slightly. Yeah, I can feel it, the Z dropping like it meshing. It's a bed mesh. Oh, it's doing multiple layers. I'm like, this is a really weird, this was a really weird whatchamacallit base mode, but it's doing some bottom layers. How thick is the aluminum bed on this printer? I think it's a PCB bed. Like the bed frame itself is metal. It is aluminum. Ooh, yeah, it's aluminum. But yeah. Be getting a bot. I didn't say I'll be getting one. Not this week coming up, but the next week is Rapid TCT in Detroit. I will be attending it, and yeah, I'll be talking with Bontech there about it. Hopefully do a video on it. You know who else is gonna be there? You know who else is gonna be there? These guys, Pantheon. They're actually the first company I ever did an interview with Pantheon. They were the first company I ever did like an interview with as a YouTuber. Outside of the, I can't remember if I talked to that company in Windsor, in the town I live. They're out of business now, but they ran filament. They ran a filament line. I can't remember if I did them before doing Rapid. But Pantheon was the first 3D printing company I ever did a thing with. Take a day off. Danga Renga. Yeah, seriously. No, if you could take a day off, if you can get in for free. Yeah, Replitech. Yeah, Replitech went out, I think. If you could take the day off, LDO and a bunch of other companies have invites. Check out their socials. You just need a code and you get a free pass. It's not hard to get a free pass to Rapid. If you're in town, go. Now, be aware it is an industry show, but it's still a ton of cool shit to look at, so. But a company reached out and they want to send me their large printer kit. And I was kind of like, I'm not really interested because it's like a meter footprint. It's big. It's like 900 by 900 millimeter footprint and like a 600 millimeter volume. It's like almost if somebody saw a Phoenix, it was heavily inspired by it. But And no, not Sovol Zero. And at first I was like, eh. But now that index is a thing, I'm a little bit more interested. Because that will be a little bit, you could fit a lot of tools on a machine like that. So what do we got on the back? We got a bunch of LEDs going. Everything seems pretty good. By the way, there is a current air fan. It's not a, it's a blower. Here, I'll kick it on right now. That's not it. Oh, that was a side fan. That's the side fan. So it's fan 2. I think. Yeah. So there is a current air fan that blows from the back, and it actually blows pretty good. But it blows pretty loud. So I'm gonna turn it off. Because you don't really need a current air fan for this. The shirt? Yeah, it's a Mythbusters shirt. It's the totally not legit, whatchamacallit from, what's his name? Alan Pan. It's the Alan Pan knockoff Mythbuster merch. The Physik Phonics, maybe? I do have connections with companies that make some pretty good large printer electronics. So I'm not too concerned if the electronics need replacing down the line. Put it that way. How do the motors sound? The Z, when it does its, oh wow. Look how much it's tramming. Look how much it's tramming. Here, reference point. Can you see it? How much it's tramming? Like you could see it. The mesh. Can you adjust the bed? I think you can adjust you can manually level the bed. Yeah, you can manually level the bed if you really wanted to. If you're printing stuff that requires dimensional accuracy, you're going to want to do it. If you're just printing random meme shit, it don't really matter. I have a salad fork. I mean, let's be honest. This bottom plate, is it plastic? I think it's plastic. But there is a metal plate underneath this, I think. Yeah, there is a metal plate under this. If you really wanted to, you probably could do dual lead screw. Just drill a couple holes, put some lead screws, call it a day. If you wanted to. I don't actually no, I don't think you can. There is no extra motor hookup. There is no extra motor hookup, unfortunately, on this board. Base mode time. Added a third lead screw. That wouldn't have solved anything. You know, third lead screw on something this big is kind of a waste, I'll be honest. You're not going to really solve a problem going 3-point. Three lead screws that aren't independent don't really, Does it run Clipper? Yes. Yeah, it's running Runs normal clipper. Mainsail. Behold mainsail. And for those wondering, it is running clipper. MCU host. Bullseye. I don't, which version of clipper? Doesn't it tell you what version of clipper it's running in the machine setting somewhere? Anyways, it's running clipper. Does it play Doom? I mean, technically, since it's running clipper, we do have a Linux SoC here. You can run Doom on it. It's probably actually not hard at all to run Doom on a 3D printer. I mean, most 3D printers have a... I mean, this one would be kind of annoying because of screen. You'd have to do something to get the screen working with it. But like, if you're running you know, a touch screen, like an actual HDMI screen, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from putting Clipper on a 3D printer, running Clipper, or putting Doom on a 3D printer running Clipper, because it's Linux. You can just install Doom, call it a day, or in Quake or whatever. Yeah, you can't get into the info section while it's doing this. Hot take, MCU temp. I mean, in this screen, it makes kind of sense because you know, you got to go down on the dashboard. You can just turn them off. Like you can just turn it all off if you want. The joy of being able to do what you want with your machine. It's great, isn't it? Oh, on this dashboard? I don't think it shows it. My clipper is now dirty. My beacon is up to date. My Moonraker is invalid, and my system says 100. I ran Clipper 9 on a machine all the way up till like Clipper 12 came out, or 11. Like, here's the thing. If there's a feature in the new Clipper that you want, go ahead and update. But if like you really don't care about adaptive bed mesh, like it doesn't matter to you, you're running a V0. Like if you're running a bone stock V0, like that you built 3 years ago, and it's got no bed probe at all, it's a bone stock V0, it's got no camera on it. Do you need what new in Clipper has come out that you're really going to take advantage of? Just if it works, it works. I'm a big proponent of if it ain't broke, don't break it. Because unfortunately, updating Clipper when you haven't updated it in a while tends to break stuff. So, yeah, the Magneto is its own thing. The Magneto is its own thing. Where are we at right now? What time are we? 9:30. We are probably only going to stream till about 10 tonight. We got a family stuff tomorrow, so I'm going to be up and about. So. The Magneto X Theseus. Well, hopefully next Saturday we're gonna get back into this guy. I've got the 48 volt power supply. I've got another 24 volt power supply that's in the same form factor as this. So we'll be able to fit both of them down here, hopefully. And we're gonna put Danger Clipper on this guy. So it'll be fun. Although we're gonna have to make a whole new config from scratch. So that'll be fun. Although it's not Danger Clipper anymore, it's Calico. Danger Clipper. I mean, it does, but like, let's be honest, as a branding term, calling it Danger Clipper. What do I want from Clipper 13? I'm not a software guy. I'm a big fan of making things easier. Whatever makes things easier, I'm all for. So. Trident 8, the 14-pin tool head harness. Nom. Ask it how it tasted. Sorry, that sucks. I've had that happen. I've had machines eat, you know, destroy wire harnesses in the past. One of the reasons umbilical is kind of like, after holding out on umbilical and tool head boards for a while, I'm like, you know what? I get it. I get it now. It's still bed meshing. It's not as much, but it's still bed meshing. Although, I will say I'm not seeing the Z wobble as much. I am not seeing the Z wobble. Well, unfortunately for you, Kisker, I haven't been using my Magneto X. So. Mine is a pre-production or a pre-release machine. And, I haven't had the time to get it up to date, put it that way. I can't remember with Clipper what the stock setting is for tramming out a bed mesh. Ten millimeters? Well, this is more than 10 millimeters and it's still meshing. No, it doesn't do it. No, what I mean is it like, so usually how it works is when you're doing a bed mesh, obviously it's going to move the bed up and down to compensate for a bed being not perfectly flat. But as you print more, it basically starts to even out the mesh. So after a certain distance, it's not meshing anymore. So it's just going flat, like the bed just goes up and down. So there's like usually there's like a default amount it blends the mesh to 0, essentially. I don't know what the default. Clipper is 3 layers. Well, this, I can still hear it. I can still hear it. Uh, 10 was default. Well, oh, vase mode Z is constantly, but how would it know that? How would it know that? Because usually blending out a mesh is something done in the firmware level. Unless it does like a every time it does a layer hop or a Z hop, or whatever, like the Z moves up. But if it's continuous moving, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, what's the fade? Yeah, like, I mean, we could check the firmware. Fade and 20 millimeters. So at 20 millimeters, it'll fade out. And we are currently at, where is Z? Yeah, we're way past it. So we should have faded out by now. So, isn't it done on a layer change? Maybe. I don't know how it actually does the whole calculation for it, but since it's vase mode, I mean, you guys aren't hearing it. Essentially, it's making like a creak noise. It's like it's just creaking. So. Why is Stream Element saying thanks for subscribing H3II? Nobody has subscribed. Oh, subscribe. Oh, I've never noticed a Stream Elements notification for people subscribing until today. So thank you, H3II. Remember, if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, what you do is you gift memberships to others, and then other people get to hang out when we do cool member stuff on member streams, and you get videos early. And you get access to the super secret channel on the Discord that only people who are channel members know about, because it's so super secret. Yeah, I'm not seeing any Z wobble anymore. I'm not seeing any Z wobble, so that's good. Print that took 10 hours. Let's take a look. Oh, nice. You also get free messages. Yeah, you get a free message once a month. See, I'm a bad live streamer because I make the effort to try and actually read everyone's comment in chat while I'm streaming. So people don't get the... So people aren't incentivized to super chat for me to read their question. Moving pretty fast. It's moving at... There's your speed. Flow's about 5 millimeters cubed a second. It's vase mode. And it's silk, so you don't want to go too fast. Whenever you're doing silk filament, for those that don't know about silk filament, you want to not print fast. The faster you go with silk, the less shiny it is, essentially. Plus, silk filament usually has pretty crap layer adhesion to begin with. So if you're doing a vase mode print, you kind of want to print a little slow and a little bit hotter than you know. Well, it's vase mode, so it's one wall. Pathetic Puma gifted a community membership. Cheers and appreciated. I still have a duet here. What am I going to do with this duet? Duet. Got a bunch of stuff in here. I gotta figure out what to do with. Yeah, I don't know. This is the first time has anyone else noticed the Stream Elements notification for when like people subscribe to the channel in chat? I've never noticed that before. Was I just blind? Andrew Humphrey, $10. Cheers and appreciate it. I'll super chat away. Successfully built my pancake. Tried it. Nice. Why'd you go with pancake? Usually when people go pancake, they do it for a reason. I'm just curious what your reason was. Like, I know some people who built pancakes for printed forward because they did a lot of printed forward. So they had machines dedicated to just printed forward. So they did like 300 by 300 by like 120s or something like that. Printing Voron parts? Okay, makes sense. So this is this garbage. I'm going to keep that box. Where are you? Your garbage. Your garbage. Can also print pancakes. Pancakes. What are you? Pi 3A. So this is going to go with the Pico and the printer bot. I'm going to start working on the printer bot soon. Get that thing up and running. You name it Flapjack. Nice. A Duet? It's a Duet 2, and it's not e-waste. A Duet 2, for the longest time, was like the best clipper controller you could get. Like, I'm sorry, the Duet is an extremely valid controller still. Yes, you're kind of limited to like 24 volts only. You can't do separate fans. And yeah, what are they? 2660s are a little in the old side when it comes to a driver. But if you have one of these kicking around, throw it in like a Prusa Mark III or something. Like, these boards are bulletproof. These are like beefcake controller boards. You cannot go wrong with a Duet 2. Like, obviously, unless you can find one really cheap, don't go buy one new. Like, most modern Big Tree Tech stuff has more features in this. But if you have one of these kicking around, these are not worth throwing out. If you have an old printer, throw this in there. At least if it's running RepRap, then you have a web UI, you have the ability to run the machine faster, you get a bunch of new features, you get the Wi-Fi control. Like, they're not obsolete, they're just old. Like, remember, with 3D printing, usually stuff doesn't get worse. Like, it still works as good the day it came out, sometimes better. So, like, it's not like computer hardware, right? You buy an old graphics card, and yeah, you're not going to be playing GTA 6 on your 1060. You can try, but it ain't going to work. But let's be honest. A Prusa Mark III could print this still. Like, there's nothing stopping older printers from printing still. Like, yeah, okay, they might not be able to print as fast, and they might not be able to, like, do funky stuff like input shaping, but they still print as good as the day they came out, if not better, because slicer improvements and filament quality improvements. So it's not like they're obsolete, they're just not up to current standards. They're still good, though. So depending on your use case, if it still works, it still works. And if, like, you have room for it, and, oh no, the print, I just leave it running overnight and I wake up and it's done instead of it being done in 3 hours or whatever. It's like, so a good 1080 Ti. 1080 Ti, I think this might be the last year where you can hang on to the 1080 Ti. Games are starting to come out where they require RTX support. And it's starting to get long in the tooth. Like, the 1080 Ti, I think, outside of esports games, you're probably not going to be playing any big game releases. Wave Lighthouse model? I don't off the top of my head. It's probably on Prusa printables, because it was one of the models that was included with the Core 1. So. How's the Zero been so far? This? It had some lead screw wobbles issues, but we did a little fiddling. Otherwise, it's fine. Just be aware, James, it is heavy. It's 14 kilograms. 1080 still has more rasterization performance than 50 series card with all the... I hate AI frames. I hate AI frames. That's one of the reasons I've stuck to 1080p. Part of me wants to get a nice 1440p monitor. The problem is it would screw up my entire setup because my computer setup, my desktop, I have a 1080p monitor, a 24-inch 1080p. I've got another 24-inch 1080p, and then above it, I have a 2560 by 1080p, I think. It's like one of those like 21-inch widescreens, like one of the really cheap widescreens you can buy. And so and it's wall mounted. So if I get a bigger main monitor, I have to move my wall mount out, and then this one moves over, and everything's not all nice and the same. But at 1080p, it's great because I have a 3090. I ain't capping out on VRAM anytime soon with that thing, and I could just crank everything and not have to worry about frame gen. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat, Monster Matt. It's my layout would suffer because I have, like, you know, let me pull up arts and crafts here. So essentially my layout is I've got my main monitor, okay, and then I have a second monitor right next to it. And then I have a third monitor that's like a widescreen that's like here, okay? That's like about like this, right? And this is wall mounted. So everything's kind of together. So usually here I have Discord here. This is my main monitor for like web browsing and playing games and whatnot. And then this is usually my YouTube monitor, essentially. This is it's 165 hertz. I like high refresh rate. So I'll take the resolution hit because it's still pretty decent pixel density. As long as the pixel density is there, it's okay. So I like high refresh rate, butter smooth, and I can crank everything and not have to worry about running FSR or frame gen or any of that stuff. So I can turn on the goodies and run them naturally instead of having to deal with like weird ghosting artifacting from like upscaling and whatnot. Plus, it lets me not have to buy new hardware all the time. Because like the desktop it's a 5800X with a 3090. That's gonna last me quite a while. So. Taylor does RepRap for more. John, I used to run RepRap. My V2, my first V2, ran RepRap firmware on a Duet board for years before finally switching over to Clipper. Like it still has the panel do on it. Because panel do, fun fact, panel do, if you have an old panel do, which is the touchscreen RepRap uses, Duet uses. If you have an old panel do, it works with Clipper. You could set it up with Clipper very easily, and it works really good. I like it. That's what I actually like panel do's as my Clipper screens. Problem is, I'm not going to go out and buy a new panel do because most kits just come with like an HDMI screen now, or a included screen. I gamed on my Kisker. Before I switched over to Ryzen, I had my i5 2500K with a 1060 all the way up to like 2019. It's upgraded from a 1070. This, I mean, here. So this has a Ryzen 7 3700X, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 1070 Ti. Because for this only exists to run NVENC. And as you can see here, let me move me. As you can see here, I'm using like 4% CPU. I'm uploading at 18,000 kilobits a second. I've got no drop frames, 60 FPS, 1440p, and yeah, we're using like 17% of the GPU. It's fine. The joy of having this dedicated machine for streaming in the garage, I'm not playing a game. I don't have to worry about rendering anything other than the stream. So it works pretty good. Upgrade it in Ryzen 5800X 3D. Yeah, I got a 5800X non-X3D. I can't complain at all. Actually, that's an upgrade because before I had a 3950X, but thanks to a community member, I now have a 5800X. And it's funny because you would think like the 3950X was a 16-core processor, 32 threads. The 5800X is an 8-core processor, 16 threads, but it's Ryzen 3 versus Ryzen 2. And because of the IPC improvements, pretty much in like video editing and whatnot, I don't really notice any difference at all because I use GPU encoding. And when it comes to gaming, it's better at gaming. And it runs cooler and uses less power. So it's like, okay. So now I have the 3950X is actually an alt now. Thinking of getting a small size printer to go off to grad school with. How's the Zero so far? It's not bad. If you're bringing it to school, it's enclosed, which has a lot of advantages, dust, noise, whatnot. The print volume is 150 millimeters cubed. Be aware that may be an issue. Okay. I personally would have, if Sovol had reached out to me and they're like, hey, we're going to make this machine, we're going to make it a 150, I would have been like, cool, do 160. Why? Because 160 is already a nominal size. The Prusa Mini is 160. The Bamboo A1 Mini is 160. No, those are 180. Those are 180. What am I thinking? 150 is small. Now, granted, my first 3D printer was 120, and I grew out of that real quick. 150 is a bit better, but it's still, yeah, it's 150, not 180. It's actually like 153 by like 154 by like 155, but it's 150. After dark time. Yeah, we're gonna do the draw at 10 o'clock. We're gonna do the draw. Today's a short stream. I got stuff in the morning with the fam. And I am exhausted. I was hoping to get the vlog video finished editing, but I literally fell asleep while trying to edit it at the computer. And tomorrow's a busy day, so we'll see. We will see. Did I finish it? Nah. I fell asleep. Skull's coming out good, though. I'm not seeing the Z wobble anymore. I'm not seeing a Z wobble at all. So loosening the T-nuts on the lead screws seem to have helped a bit. Do I have a V0 out here for size comparison? Not in the garage. They're downstairs. From my understanding of V0, it probably comes up to about here. The V0 would be about this tall, I think. Yeah, I don't have a V0. No, that's a whatchamacallit. What's the mostly printed little one? I have one of those over there. Yeah, I don't have a V0 out here. I have a printer bot simple metal. But it's half taken apart in preparation of a video, so. Rook. Yeah, I have a Rook over there. What would be a decent alternative versus V0 kits or two apples versus oranges? Oh, would this be? Nick, it comes down, do you want to build it or buy it? Simple as that. Do you want to buy a printer or build a printer? If you just want something that you take out of the box and you print with it, and you don't have to worry about faffing about with firmware and printing your own parts and building the damn thing, this makes more sense. If you want more control over the machine and you want to build your own printer, then you got to build your own printer. I know it's not a wrong question to ask what you just asked, but I think a lot of people kind of comparing a Voron or any other kit printer to a commercial off-the-shelf pre-assembled or 95% assembled printer is kind of unfair nowadays, because they, especially now with like the economies of scale with some of the like the Shitari carbons and like the bamboos and whatnot, how cheap and good some of these commercial off-the-shelf mass-produced printers are. It's hard to like, if you're like, because I see it all the time, I get it all the time. Why would I build a Voron for $1,200 when I can buy a Shitari Carbon for $299 or a Flashforge Adventurer for $499 or $299 or whatever it is, or a Bamboo? It's like, because some people like to build stuff. Why do people customize their cars? Why do people build sheds? And you know, you could go buy a shed, or you could build one. Why, you know, some people just like building stuff. They want to build it. Simple as that. And some people, they're like, why would you? It's much more monies. It's many more monies. And other people are like, why would you not? It's fun to build it. It's my hobby. So it is what it is. Is there a Nevermore in there? Not really. There is a exhaust fan with a filter. But you probably could turn this into a Nevermore pretty easily by swapping the fan, because it has an exhaust fan. I know you can't see. Shoot. There's an exhaust fan on the back that sucks air and blows it out, or on the side, and it's got a charcoal filter. But you probably could turn it into a Nevermore pretty easily if you knew what you were doing. You probably could turn it into a Nevermore pretty easily if you knew what you were doing. You have something, ooh, Nomad, DM me secrets. DM me secrets. Speaking of secrets, let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway, because I am exhausted. I don't know why I am so tired. Like, I don't know why I am so tired since going back from China. Like, last night I slept good, and I'm still fell asleep at the computer editing. Names. There we go. Who was the first one? There we go. Marbles. Let's load up marbles. Jet lag. It's funny. I had like no jet lag going there, but coming back, and it's been like a week almost. Like, I got back Monday, and it's Saturday night, and I'm still sent. Okay, let me open it up while I'm live on stream. No, I wouldn't do that. That would be very, very rude. Clear, open. Names. 227. Let's do hard landing. Just like an American FAA regulated plane, hard landing. You want my reaction, just don't share the photo. Okay, we'll do it after this. You know what? Because if I do it after this, everyone will leave. 1 second. Let me look at it before. So this is apparently something Nomad is working on. Now, I don't know if this is Nomad, something working on himself, something working as part of Positron, or something as part of Prusa, or Printed Solid. So what is this? What did you do to my boy? I know what that is. I know what parts bin you have raided. Who let you in the parts bin? Who are you raiding the parts bin? Did you find the parts bin at the back of the shop? Okay. Who's playing Baldur's Gate right now? Who is this? Who is this? I'm in streaming mode, so to the Monster Mat. Are you? I mean, I'm not going to disagree with the choice, although personally, Frog Wife is better. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with your choice of a waifu from Baldur's Gate. But we all know Bazel is best. So, anyways, let's do a giveaway. Okay, so how this works, if you win, you get a free spool of Pilament from POLYMAKER. But if I pick your ball, then you are the lucky ball, and you also get a free hat. This person right here. RH3D. RH3D. If you win, you get a free hat. Listen, I'm biased. I mean, mysterious, edgy girl with a secret with black hair, and yeah, you can't go wrong going with Shadowheart. You can't go wrong romancing Shart. But like, everyone romances Shart the first game. And yes, the character's name is Shadowheart, and everyone refers to as Shart. It is what it is. Anyways, you can't go wrong with romancing Shart. But then you do a playthrough and you romance Lae'zel, and it's like, I get it. I get it. And then you play a halfling and you romance Karlach for the Dami Mommy fetish. The Shenable Flob. You flobbed it. Remember, exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. MK. It's yours to lose, MK. And you lost it. David V. It's yours to lose, David V. It's yours to lose, David V. It's yours to lose, David V. You lost. Planet. Oh, who's Techmaster? It's yours to lose, Techmaster. And you won it. Or first. Astarion. I haven't done any of the male romances in Baldur's Gate. I did start one with Astarion, but I never actually finished that playthrough. I will say, going full embrace Dark Urge with Minthara was literally like ride or die. She is awesome if you do an evil playthrough. Techmaster242, congratulations. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from POLYMAKER. Techmaster, let me find him here. Techmaster, there you go. There we go. Okay, so you'll get an email from me after the stream ends. There you go. But yeah, if you ever do a Baldur, I'm waiting on patch 8. I want to play a Hexblade, because you know what's funny? I've only ever been in Baldur's Gate 1 as a Tav. Every Baldur's Gate playthrough, very than my very first one, I've played as a Dark Urge. Because Dark Urge, you get more stuff. Like your character has a backstory, right? The problem is your character has a backstory. You are kind of railroaded. Now you can either embrace the urge or fight the urge. Fight the Urge like is a really good storyline, especially if you pair it up with like Astarion, or if you pair it up with like Shadowheart. Very good storylines, okay? Because they blend together really good, right? Because you're fighting your evilness within. But I haven't done another Tav playthrough, so I want to play a Tav Hexblade, and I'm waiting on patch 8 for that. But yeah, no, if embrace Dark Urge with Minthara, she's ride or die. She's like, oh, you're taking over the world and killing everyone? Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's do it. You deserve it, boy. You deserve it, king or queen or whatever you're playing your character as. Okay, let's call it there. I am Eepy. I am Eep. Damn it, now I want to go play Baldur's Gate. Damn you. Not gonna play Baldur's Gate. Anyways, we're calling it there. I will post pictures of this in the morning. I think we fixed our Zed wobble. All I did was crack those T-nuts, and I think the Zed wobble's gone away. As for the cryo grip plate with ABS, print hasn't failed yet. It's just printing a bunch of panel clips. So we're calling it there. Shout out to POLYMAKER for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Links for all of them and more, video description. Enter for your, while you're down there, use code Canuck, buy some gamer stuff, save some money. And for those that donate to the channel, gift memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. I'm Eepy, and it's the little guy's birthday tomorrow, so I'm gonna be busy. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you on Tuesday. Goodbye. Wash your hands.